Hello guys, Denobi2 here with Benjamin, and on this episode we are going to tackle Hot Toys, and we're going to discuss on the things that Hot Toys should do and the things that Hot Toys shouldn't do. You know what I would love to see Hot Toys do again that they stopped doing back from the old days is the amount of accessories that they used to include with their figures back in the day versus now. I remember the Jack Sparrow DX series. That was an experience.
The Jack Sparrow DX, if anybody has never seen it or has never owned one, that is the pinnacle of what 1/6 Hot Toys is. You not only have a figure that is just, the production of it, the quality of it is so amazing, but you get a plethora, a huge amount of accessories. With the wheel, you get the actual captain's wheel. He has two different head sculpts. It's a DX, so his eyes move. And not only that, you get the ship in a bottle. You get a telescope. He has swords and pistols. He has real feathers. The figure is the pinnacle of what 1/6 Hot Toys should be.
It's one of my favorite figures in my personal collection, and during those golden years, you know, when you bought a Hot Toys, it was a truly experience. Now it seems very mass marketed, where the whole objective is we got to get this figure out as soon as possible and work on the next figure, and I miss that, and I wish Hot Toys would return back to those golden years of the amount of work and dedication that they used to throw in their figures.
I remember when Hot Toys would come out with a figure, it would be every 3, 4, 5 months. And there was a new figure that came out and you were like, whoa man, you know, I gotta get this Hot Toy because they're gonna sell out so quick.
What else would you like to see Hot Toys change?
I would like to see Hot Toys start giving us our money's worth. Start giving us more accessories, start giving us more bang for the buck. I feel like if you're gonna start, you know, raising the ante, if it's gonna start, you know, costing us more money, we have to get more in return. That's just plain and simple. I don't have a problem with, you know, the figures that they're making. I have a problem with their model of let's charge more and more and more for the figures, and you're not getting anything extra. And I know that's how it is, but you know, as a collector, I can choose to say, well, I'm just not going to buy it because it's just too much money. I'm not going to buy this.
And that's exactly what's happening. A lot of us are kind of putting our foot down, and we're not jumping the gun at the pre-orders as fast as what we used to, let's say, back in the day.
Well, they're just so freaking expensive, man. I mean, it used to be $100 or $120, then it went to $150, $160, then it was $180, and then it was $200, then it was $220, and then it was $250, then now it's $300, now it's $350. You know,
you know, if there's one thing I would love to see Hot Toys change or do for its customers is inform us on release dates a little bit more accurately. And what I mean by that is, you know, instead of, you know, let's say the first or second quarter, kind of pinpoint it a little bit more narrow for us so that we can have, so it's to help us budget.
I always looked at it as a plus, because Hot Toys is notorious for if it's going to be out in March, it comes out in like December.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I always looked at it like, oh wow, like the figure's coming, I have to start saving money. It's like, no, not till December. Oh, I got extra time. Thank you, Hot Toys.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying, but I looked at it as I don't know. I think Hot Toys also needs to start taking more risks. I'm really tired of seeing DC, Marvel, and there's going to be so much Star Wars, and that's really like what they're focusing on now. There's nothing really original. There's nothing really new. I can guarantee you when San Diego Comic-Con comes around, you're going to see a bunch of Marvel figures, you're going to see a bunch of DC figures, you're going to see a Suicide Squad, you're going to see Civil War figures, you're going to see Star Wars figures, you're going to see the Marty McFly Part 2 figure, and
I'll defend Hot Toys. Their current line has expanded. It's not like
it's expanded, but it's more the same. It's more the same. I mean, look.
That's what sells, though. I'll defend them on that.
It is what sells, but I'm going to be honest with you. I don't really buy Hot Toys figures as much as I used to. And I think it's because, it's just really more of the same. There's nothing really original. There's nothing really out there that makes me go, wow, I have to buy a Civil War Captain America. For me, okay? I don't really need to. And I don't have to buy a Civil War Iron Man. I don't have to buy, for me.
Yeah.
So I look at like, okay, what are you offering me that's going to be different and line-wise? Like what is going to be out there? There's really nothing down the pipe. I don't see anything.
I do want to see Hot Toys change something where they inform their customer base as to when they plan on discontinuing a line. For example, if you're going to start a specific line, make the best effort to finish it. But I understand it's a business, and if you make a figure, let's say from Terminator Genesis, you're not going to want to complete the rest of the line because of the fans' reaction based on the film.
Well, I like Genesis, but I understand that it didn't make money, and I understand that they're only going to make pops, and I get that, okay? So for me, it's like, all right, that's cool. I'm cool with it. I know certain collectors out there, they will buy pops. I'm thinking about it. I don't really know. But I feel like, at the end of the day, they're not going to do anything with it because it didn't do well. Star Wars, they're going to do 1 million Star Wars. Marvel, they're going to do 1 million Marvel and DC. I mean, we see the armored suit Batman, we see the Batman himself, and then we have Superman. There's going to be more coming.
Absolutely. I just want a little bit more dedication to a line when they started. And granted, I know Amazing Spider-Man 2 didn't do well.
So you still want Rhino?
I still want the Rhino. I still want the Rhino. I do.
I can see why. I can see why at times Hot Toys decides we're not going to put this out.
No,
I get it. I want an engineer. It's not happening.
So that's true.
I say it all the time. It's like every episode. I want an engineer.
Is it too much to ask for to keep the customers as far as FYI? Kind of let us know. As to their current
I don't think they're going to do it because they want to leave it hanging just in case if they want to revisit. Because they already have like figures, you know what I'm saying? They have the David the Shaw from Prometheus. They have the Ripley and the Power Loader and Ripley from Alien and Aliens. But there's nothing out there, and they haven't said that they've killed the line. But we haven't seen anything from it.
And that's the thing; they don't tell you anything. They leave you hanging.
I think they're going to leave you hanging.
Are we
going to revisit it?
Absolutely, yeah.
If they want to.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and it's not like we're collecting $20 action figures here.
It's not like we're just it's like it's cheap stuff.
No, and it's when a collector, a dedicated collector, starts a specific line. It's because they're passionate about this line and they look forward to completing that specific line.
I get it.
And that's horrible.
I get it, but my thing is like these figures cost so much. And it's like to dedicate yourself to a line, like let's say the Marvel line, right? All the Avengers line. You're going to be dedicating yourself to like, I don't know, $5,000-$6,000 worth of money, and it's like I don't really look at collecting as I have to dedicate myself. I like that piece and I like that representation of the character, and I go with it. But I think at the end of the day, I look for diversity. I try to diversify my portfolio.
I do too.
You know what I'm saying?
I do too. But you also want to at least give the collector the option of whether or not to complete that specific line. And I don't think that's fair. Another perfect example that people are still griping about is the Guardians of the Galaxy line. Everybody is losing, folks are still losing sleep over the silly Drax.
I'm not losing sleep over it. No. I have Rocket and Groot and Star-Lord. And I love Guardians of the Galaxy. I went to go see it in the movie theater like 9 times with my wife and kids. But that said, if I don't get everybody in the line, it doesn't bother me at all. Like
it's not fair.
The thing with like Gamora is I didn't get Gamora because of the arm issue.
Yeah, a lot of collectors are not going to build the Avengers, let's say from the first film, and you don't get Hawkeye or you don't get the Hulk. It doesn't work that way. But especially if it's a superhero team.
Well, I agree with you. I mean, that's the Avengers, and they're going to go ahead and make that line because you have to because of all the Avengers, and they've done that. But I think what you're saying is if you're going to go ahead and make Terminator, you better go ahead and do more than just pops. Like you got to dedicate yourself to more figures because if I'm going to dedicate myself to that actual line, I want to have multiple, different characters I can display them with. And I get that. I get
it. It hurts the trust within the community when you launch a new line, and here, let's go
You said
back.
trust.
Of course.
I don't trust Hot Toys at all.
Well, I used to. I used to be able to trust them. But let's go back to the Future line, and this is an old topic of mine, which is the Doc Brown.
Doc Brown.
And how do you launch a pre-order to the DeLorean when you don't have the inventor to the actual time machine?
Well, we talked about this before,
Yeah.
and I think what the biggest issue is that Doc Brown, Back to the Future itself, is very huge in the United States of America, but abroad in the Asian market, it's not a big movie at all. It's just like Star Wars. Star Wars is not a big property in Asia. Like they don't go crazy over Star Wars. So I think what it really comes down to is Hot Toys looks at it and goes, okay, well, they're crazy about Marty and they're crazy about the DeLorean, but this Doc Brown guy, I don't know, man. That's a risk. I don't think we're going to take it.
I see.
Quit making the same figures over and over and over again. I'm just really tired of it.
Which ones?
Well, they did the Mark 7 promo edition. Okay?
Oh, I see that.
And they did the Captain America, Golden Age Captain America. And then you see a lot of Iron Man figures that come out, and it's really just kind of like different colors, or it's like they took like a top and a bottom,
Like,
put it together.
like for example, the stealth Iron Man.
Yes,
Mark 7,
yes. And I'm really sick of it. I mean, they really need to go ahead and like. It was like even with the bank robber Joker, it was like everybody wants a bank robber Joker, so let's go ahead and make another one. But as a collector, I look at it as, you know what? If I have something that's really cool and it's really sought after, and I bought it a long time ago, and I have it, and it's sought after as a collector, that's something that I like to have, in my collection. But if you keep on reissuing every single figure that's out there, then really the collectability of the figure that I have just turned to zero, went to nil.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you're making money, so it doesn't matter to you, Hot Toys. That's why I don't trust you. And so you're making your money, but here I am as a collector. You screwed me over.
Now, keep in mind, folks, we're not promoting the idea of flipping figures for exuberant amounts of profit.
We're talking about collecting.
We're talking about collecting.
Everybody has pieces.
Exactly, and protecting your investment, because when you buy a figure, you worked hard for the $200 action figure, so you want to be able to at least enjoy the figure and know that the value
value's there, or it went up.
Exactly.
Why would you want it? Why would you want a figure? I have the Hot Toys Blade.
Yeah.
Okay. The figure sells for some stupid amount of money. I would never pay that type of money. I would never pay that type of money. It's like $500, $600, something like that. Okay, why would you go ahead and you have a Hot Toys Blade and it's in your collection? You're happy because it's a sought after figure and it's went up in value because of how sought after it is. And then all of a sudden, you have this in your collection, and then Hot Toys goes, here's a new blade. Here's two new blades. Here you go. Here's battle damage blade and here's a blade. And at the end of the day, you're like, dude, what happened? It's supposed to be limited. Like this is supposed to be the only production run that you do.
No.
And now you don't even have any more.
This is dangerous ground we're treading right now, Benjamin, because.
Let's try it, man. Let's do it.
Because fans out there, a lot of fans don't feel, because there are new collectors. There are new Hot Toy collectors that just recently jumped in, and they want to be able to appreciate a Mark 6, a War Machine, so forth. So that's why Hot Toys is doing it. So they are catering to that.
I don't feel like Hot Toys is doing it for the collectors. Hot Toys is doing it for the money.
Of course.
And you know what?
But as a fan, we can't complain.
Why is it like this? Let me ask you something. Why can't Hot Toys just do a line of Avengers and be done with it? Then when Avengers 2 come out, make another line of Avengers. Why is it that they have to go ahead and reissue another figure? Why is it that I know that there's other collectors out there, but you will still have an opportunity to have an Iron Man. You might not be able to get Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
Sorry. I mean, you didn't come into collecting at the time that Iron Man 3 was available. I mean...
I see what you're saying. You're saying that once they made that Blade figure, they have no reason to go back and reissue the Blade figure.
Go do Blade 2. Go do Blade 1. I have Blade 2. So go do Blade 1.
So let's fast forward. So you're saying that Hot Toys should not make another War Machine, but this War Machine is different. This is a die cast.
I have no problem with Hot Toys making another figure if it's in a new movie. But
Okay.
I understand where you're coming with the
Yeah.
die-cast part, and I
Yeah.
know that Hot
'Cause
Toys is
folks-
remaking all of the marks.
There are, because
Okay.
there are folks who really.
I look at it
there's folks out there who cannot afford $500 for a Mark 6 figure, right?
Oh yeah.
So
well, I don't know if they're going to be able to afford $350 or $400 for a Mark 6 when it comes out.
So
and
I'm looking at it from both angles here because
I don't
there
agree
are
with it.
because there are new Hot Toy collectors.
It's killing the community, because what happens is that I collect Ed 209, and then because Ed 209 is just so wanted or needed, here, let's go ahead and reissue another Ed 209. You know what? Why don't you go ahead and work on Ed 209? I don't know, from a different movie. Ed 209 from RoboCop 1, or Ed 209 from RoboCop 2, or Ed 209 from RoboCop 3. Why keep on reissuing the same figure from the same line? They need to stop doing it, because as a collector, it's killing me.
The only thing I could say to that is that it hurts the trust, because if they keep doing that, then why should I jump on the first version when I then suspect that Hot Toys might
They're going to make another one,
a better version? So in that defense, I can defend you on that. So you're right. If you're going to make a War Machine, be done with it.
If you know that that's going to be the only War Machine out there, you're gonna buy that War Machine and you're going to keep it.
Yeah.
And you know what? If there's collectors out there that want to buy that War Machine, that's why there's their secondary market. They have eBay, they have Craigslist, they have wherever you want to buy a figure.
But then you run the risk of collectors getting mad at scalpers. They're gonna say, well,
collecting though. That's collecting. You have to pay to play. It's like we were talking about. There's almost a $2,000 Hulk Buster.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's almost $2,000. Okay. So, if you want it, you're going to have to pay to play. If you want the Blade figure, you're going to have to pay to play. If you want the War Machine, you're going to have to pay to play. That's just how it is. So you can't just go ahead and say, well, it's not fair to collectors, because I look at it as, look, it's not fair to me. I went ahead and collected it years ago. There's collectability in it, and now you're going ahead and making another run, so there goes my figure. It's not even, nobody wants it anymore.
So this topic here is so fragile. It could be looked at so many different ways. I understand it from the viewers, and I understand it from our point of view too. It is kind of like a stock market, but it is, like you said,
there's
pay to play.
collectability in figures, plain and simple. That's why you collect them. If everybody could have it, then why buy it? I mean, you want something that nobody else can have. That's why it's a limited edition figure. Yeah. That's why you buy collectibles, because at the end of the day, you have it in your collection and nobody else will have it. That's why you buy collectibles. If it was just, hey, you could just walk in and stroll in and buy it whenever you felt like it, what's the point?
Yeah.
How is that a collectible?
Such a tricky subject, guys. Let us know what you think. What would you like to see Hot Toys change? What would you like to see them do? What would you like to see them not do? Leave your comments below. Like, subscribe, and this has been an interesting episode. Thanks for watching. Dinobi 2 here.
Benjamin.
Thanks for watching.